Hey guys, Rocky here with another episode of Project of the Week. And the project of the week that I have behind me here is something that we've just purchased, and it's going to need some work. As you can see, it's going to need some body work. Front quarters need to be fixed up. The rear quarters need to be fixed up. There's quite a bit of rust there. We've got a little bit of rust on the other side as well. Not quite as bad, but some here. A little bit down there. So there's a lot of work in terms of body work here. It's going to be fix it so it's good enough to drive and doesn't look too bad type of a repair. It's not going to be a professional job. It's got really good tires on it. We got the vehicle for a really good price. The tires are good all the way around, and it needs an exhaust. Before we went to pick it up, the guy called us back and told us that someone stole the exhaust off it. He was a little surprised when he jumped in and fired her up. He said she got pretty noisy. He's like, he didn't know what was going on. Looked underneath, and the muffler was missing. So priced out a muffler. Got that coming in this morning from Canadian Tire. I drove it from the location where we picked it up over to my garage here and noticed it needs front shocks badly. So I've ordered the front shocks too, and they'll be in this morning sometime, and I'll put those on throughout the day. I want to put rear shocks on it, but the problem with the rear shocks, it's going to take a few days to get them in. They'd have to come in from the U.S. So I'm going to check around and see if I can get them someplace other than Canadian Tire. And then once I've got the exhaust system on it, and that's the first thing I'm going to do is put the exhaust system on it, put the front shocks on it. Then I'm going to take it out for a good drive to see what other bugs need to be worked out of it. There might be other stuff, but so far those are the two most obvious things, or three most obvious things, including the body work. So once I've taken it for a good test drive and seen if there's anything else that it needs, other than, mechanically, other than the shocks and the exhaust, once I get all that stuff out of the way, then I'll get started on the body work. The guy told me when we looked at it and picked it up that he thought that in the back of the vehicle there was a box with new quarter panels for it, and he really didn't know for sure. It didn't belong to him. It was his son-in-law's vehicle. So I looked in the box, was in the back, all sealed, and hadn't even been opened yet. And I got pretty excited about that. I figured I wouldn't have to worry about looking around for metal to fix these pieces here. I thought, okay, we've got the quarter skin sitting in a box in the back. That's great. I'll just weld those in, the way we go. But after I got home with the vehicle and took the box out, opened it up, looked in it, and I found out that it's got some, I believe it's called jungle flares. Call them jungle flares. They're actually they're brand new. They're the fiberglass flares for the front and back both. So that's okay, because that kind of helps cover up some of the issues with the body work. I mean, I can do a fairly rough job here, as long as it's sealed down here and there's no exhaust getting into the vehicle. It doesn't have to be real pretty or painted. Just maybe a coat or something on it to keep it from rusting right away again. Then it can be covered up with these jungle flares, because they'll go on and they'll slide right on over there like that, and they'll cover up a lot of that stuff anyway. So as long as I can get this sealed, I don't have to be too fussy with it, because like I say, that covers most of it, right? And down there, I just got to make sure we got no exhaust coming in. That'll cover up most of that down there as well, once it's on there properly. So we got front. We got all the jungle flares, for the front and back both, so that'll dress the vehicle up a little bit. The paint is as you can see, kind of a red color, but it's faded out quite a bit. It's not real pretty, but you could probably buff it and get a little shine out of it. But then, if you didn't clear coat or do something with it to protect it, it would turn right around and go like this again within a matter of a week or two. So I'm thinking potentially picking up some automotive paint. I think we're looking at probably black. Pick up some automotive paint and pick up a proper type of sprayer for spraying the vehicle down. And I've got a nice tarp garage, pretty good size, that I could set up here in the garage on one side, and it has all four sides. The only thing is the top was beat out of it with the hail here a while back, so that's why I never bothered to put it back up again. But I could throw some clear plastic over the top of it, and I've got these lights that would shine down through, so I could see pretty good. If I had it completely encapsulated in here so that paint doesn't get out and go all over the place, then I would try to paint the vehicle. I'd give it a good sanding, just a nice sanding all the way down. It wouldn't be a fantastic job or anything, just be a splash and dash, just to make it look a little better than it does. My daughter This is for my daughter, her first vehicle. She wants black. She doesn't care much for this red, which I don't blame her. But that's long term. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. We got to see just how much more work it's got to be done to make it mechanically fit and safe. Tie rods and everything seem to be tight. I haven't checked the ball joints yet. Once I take her out for a drive, although you can't really tell about the front end because they put reasonably new tires on it. Not that, well, it's been some time ago, but they haven't driven it much, so there's no wear pattern to give me any indication as to what the front end components are like. So I'm going to have to jack it up and test those ball joints too. It's got torsion bar front suspension. Got coil springs in the back. The torsion bars can be adjusted slightly. If you want a little stiffer ride, if it's still a little soft in the front after I put the shocks on, then I can stiffen the torsion bars up a little bit. Got to be careful with torsion bars too. If you crank them too much, they will snap. I've seen that happen. Of course, it was pretty extreme. It was an big old car, a big old four-door car of some sort back in the 70s. I think it was an old Dodge, and my father had it, and he got me underneath it and got me to jack the front end of it up, because by cranking those torsion bars, it actually lifted the front end like having a lift kit. You could crank them right up, right? So I cranked them right up to the max. I didn't know any better. He didn't know any better either, really. So that set the front end of the car up, quite a bit, the way they used to like it back in the day. I always liked to jack them up at the back, but my father, in his day, they liked to jack them up at the front. So we had her jacked up in the front pretty good, and went outside probably a few hours later, walking past the car, and I heard the great big bang and seen the dust fly out from underneath the car, and I thought to myself, what the heck was that? I crawled under the car and looked, and one of the torsion bars had too much tension on it. She snapped right in half, so we had to get in the torsion bar for it, and of course we backed everything down and realized that you couldn't crank them up that high. If you crank them that high, it could cause a problem. So that might have been a one-off. Maybe that's not a common thing, but at least it was enough for me to know to be careful with the torsion bars, not to get too crazy with them in terms of how much pressure you put on them. So so I'll be gentle on this. I noticed it was really soft in the front and bounced. I know it needs shocks, but if it also felt soft too, it's kind of like the springs were. Or I thought I had coil springs at that point. Kind of felt like the springs might be a little bit weak, right? But like I said, it's torsion bars, so we can actually put a little more pressure on those if we have to. So what we'll do is we'll put the new shocks on it first, see how that feels without any adjustments on the torsion bars, and how it sounds with the exhaust on it, how the clutch feels. Clutch pedal is really light, which makes me think that the pressure plate is weak. This vehicle has a lot of miles on it. It's an older vehicle. From what I can tell, talking to the guy, he's had it for like 14 years or something, and from what he said, he's never done much to it except, maybe brake pads or some minor stuff. So chances are he's never had to do a clutch or anything on it like that. I was a little concerned about the timing belt. I checked this particular engine doesn't have the interference fit, so if the timing belt goes, it's not going to destroy the heads or anything like that. The valves won't hit the pistons. He said he didn't recall when or if he had ever had the timing belt changed. Apparently he had the vehicle first and handed it off to his daughter for a while, and then she sold it back to him, and then he sold it to his son for a while, and his son's had it, and then his son left, got a job someplace out of province and never drove it much, and it just sat there, so they finally decided it was time to let it go. It's got high mileage, but it's a Toyota, it's a V6. The engine sounds really quiet. There's no ticking, knocking, or any noises or anything like that in it. So it'll probably go for a while with her just driving back and forth locally, taking the kids to school and daycare and stuff like that. A grocery getter or whatever. It'll be okay for that. It is 4x4. It's got a full frame underneath it. So I'm thinking this is a good, safe vehicle as opposed to one of them little disposable cars and little economy cars. She looked at a few things like a little Escort, which is just way too small for a family. She got two kids. One kid is pretty good size. He's probably about 110 pounds or something like that, and then she's got the little one that's in a car seat. You need something bigger than one of those little small cars for that. So this is way better, and the price she got it is very, very, very reasonable. So gonna fix it up for her best I can, try to make it as safe as possible, teach her how to drive the standard, and hope she likes it and gets a lot of use out of it. But in the meantime, I've got a lot of work to do on it, so I probably should cut short there and get at it and see what else I'm going to have to do. So until we get some progress on it, peace out.